Well, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Hope you had a great weekend, but if you were in Anambra, I guess it was very busy. Apart from the election, you then had to wait to get all the results. But as they say, Anambra has spoken. Anambra has decided. And according to INEC, the sitting governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, has won the election again. So he's heading for his second term. We'll also, let's see now, we will be speaking with Sarah Bichi, who is Head Knowledge Management and Learning at IAGA Africa. She'll be joining us very, very shortly. Slight technical issue, but because she already is with us, but and that will be sorted out very, very soon. But I guess the one thing that we are hearing from all who observed was that by and large, it was a good election. When I say good, the meaning was that there wasn't violence, there wasn't hooliganism, there wasn't, all the undesired trappings that sometimes follow elections. Well, the security, this probably gives, gives kudos to the police and whoever was in charge of the security, because there wasn't any of that. As I said, IAGA Africa's Sarah Bichi, who is Head Knowledge Management and Learning, will be joining us very, very soon. But we have a package for you.
INEC declared Governor Chukwuma Soludo as winner of Anambra State Governorship Election, having polled the highest number of lawful votes cast, a feat the governor considered as a task for greater responsibility. INEC delivered Governor Chukwuma Soludo as winner of Anambra State Governorship Election, having polled the highest number of lawful votes cast. The governor acknowledged efforts made by individuals, groups, communities, and traders to ensure his re-election is actualized.
This election and this victory is not just victory, it is history made. We applied for this job. You employed us 4 years ago, and we were sworn in probably three and a half years ago. And all I can say to you, like we said throughout the campaign, is that you haven't said anything yet.
He thanked President Bola Tinubu for being a true Democrat and Independent National Electoral Commission for their professional conduct.
The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, for being a very true Democrat. I appreciate INEC and say, may this be a foretaste of better things to happen, to continue to happen in our electoral system.
A state that people will return to and have fun and do business.
Supporters are here from across the states to celebrate with the governors over his victory at the election. And according to them, it is a task of confirmation and to consolidate its achievement in the past 2.5 years to deliver the Anambra of their dream.
On this part, candidate of the All Progressive Congress declined to comment on the election outcome, hinted that he's still consulting his supporters before his next action will be made public.
Anambra State, non-incumbent person, from whatever they've allotted to me or whatever that actually my people have voted for, have 99 something thousand votes. It's unprecedented. So those, whatever decision I'm going to take will affect those 90 something thousand people.
Soludo pulled a total of 422,664 votes to defeat his closest rival, the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Nicholas Ukachukwu, who scored 99,445 votes and 14 others. From the result announced, Soludo of Abga won in all the 21 local government areas of the state in a landslide victory. Bamidele Ajayi. TVC News in Sofia.
Okay, that was at the country home of the governor, where the governor addressed the people after, when he accepted the results of the elections and accepted his victory. Okay, we've now been joined by Sarah Bichi, who is head of knowledge management and learning at IAGA Africa. Good morning to you, Sarah. Sorry, is it Sarah or Sarah?
Sophia.
I beg your pardon?
Sophia Bichi. Sophia Bichi, good morning.
Okay.
Sophia Bichi, having you.
Oh dear.
Nice.
Indeed. Thank you very much for joining us. You were one of the numerous observers, and we also spoke to you, IAGA Africa on Friday as well. So we're delighted to have you too this morning, a different lady from IAGA Africa. What would you say about the election? What is your assessment, having observed?
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me to the program. First is to start by talking about the general atmosphere around the elections, which was peaceful and commendable, at least from the pre-election to the election and even the post-election. There has been no serious case of electoral violence, which is very commendable. And we can say that, yes, the security agents have done commendably well, even before the elections, to kind of help the atmosphere of the state. And we've also seen that in terms of logistics, there's a significant improvement in the logistic arrangement or preparation by INEC, even though it's not where we expect it to be, because based on our data, we've seen that INEC has deployed to 49% of polling units by 7:30 a.m. in the morning, which shows that there was an early start in some polling units. But again, yes, this, if you agree with me by the statistics, is less than 1 of every 2 polling units you visit. So we hope that INEC will do better, but this is also a significant departure from the 17% and the 28% we've seen in the 2 previous elections. In terms of deployment of election materials, we can see that there was, INEC did commendably well, as they have done in other elections, in deploying good election materials. We've seen 90% of all polling units had beavers, and in 90% of polling unit, beavers work properly well, except that in about 3 or 8% of polling, 5% of polling units where beavers malfunction and were not fixed or replaced. We want to say that even in those little percentage of polling units, INEC needs to do better. We've seen like about 8% of polling units where beavers malfunction, but it was fixed or replaced. So these are the kind of interventions we expect from INEC. From the security agents, they were professional over the years. Our security agencies have been doing relatively well in terms of professionalism in elections. This is a total departure from the experiences we had way back in 2018, in Ekiti 2018. But again, there are some issues, there are some aspects that continues to drive our elections, which is first is vote buying. Vote buying again showed up in this election. We saw vote buying happening between by all political parties, most political parties, most of the major political parties were involved in it, and this is undermining the principle of elections. This is undermining the legitimacy of elections. This is also changing citizens' position in terms of the social contract. Citizens are no longer citizens when their votes are bought. They are turning to clients of elections, and this also makes it difficult for citizens to hold politicians or representatives accountable. This must be condemned. We need to be seen acting to condemn that. I think it's enough of verbal condemnation. We've only seen, based on reports, that about 2 or 3 persons arrested by EFCC, despite this mass vote buying that we've seen. I think this is the time we also need to start thinking of having the Electoral Offense Commission. Something needs to be done. This needs to stop. And I've also heard the narrative being pushed by political actors and even some other actors saying that votes don't count. Citizens too saying votes don't count. I don't believe that votes don't count. If votes are not counting, nobody will buy their votes. So votes are counting. With the reforms we've had in our electoral system, especially in INEC over the years, it's difficult for people to manipulate elections as they used to way back in 2003 and 2007, So people are beginning to resolve to buying the votes. They give you the money to go and vote for them, and this must be condemned. We need to stand on our feet and do something ahead of the 2027 elections. And you know, the dangers of this is not just the fact that people are selling their future, or people are selling their conscience and their ability to demand for accountability, but it's also discouraging people that do not have that kind of resources, but have the will, the other resources, that capacity, capability to run for certain offices, from running from certain offices. This is a menace that has to stop in our electoral system. This is something we need to look at. All stakeholders, even especially political parties, they're no longer investing in issue-based campaign. They're no longer investing in campaigning and selling their policy ideas, but in using their time, taking their time to plan and mobilize resources for procuring vote on elections. The other aspect is on security. I would like to say that the security, we were professional, but the security needs to do more, needs to step up their game. The deployment did not look systematic and organized. We've seen situations where polling units, number of security agents varies from polling units to polling units.
Okay.
And when we say vary, we're not looking at normal variance, we're looking at the disproportional distribution of security agents. For instance, you could see some polling units having one observer, security agent, some 2, some 7, some 10. And you ask yourself, what is rationale behind that? And just to buttress that further, we've also seen a situation where a van of security agent was moving and stopping stopping at the next bus stop to check, are there security agents? How many are there? Then you just drop 1 or 2 or whatever number of security agents they feel like, then move to the next polling unit. If there's an intentional deployment, security agents will know which polling unit they are going to before elections, and we should be able to know how many security agents we expect to see at certain polling units. We can have an equal distribution, but for peculiarity of certain locations, there could be more or some little variation. So this is my feedback on security agents. But again, on terms of the vote share that was announced by INEC, it falls within our estimate. And in terms of voter turnout, it still falls within our estimate, which is still considerably low. Some might say that is an improvement from the 10% we had in the 2021 elections. We have 21% now, but this is also below 25%. That is to say, every 1 in 4 is less than every 1 in 4 voters that are on the voter register. So this is also the time we need to step up. 2027 is at the corner, and we need to encourage our citizens by telling them that not voting is also voting indirectly.
Indeed, thank you very much. Well, you said that the voter apathy that we noticed, again, you had known, you had looked at this and known that this was what was likely to happen, even though there were admonitions, advised to come out and vote. The youths were counseled not to turn the empty streets into football playing arenas. But actually, that did still happen. I'll come back and talk with you some more. Mr. George, good morning to you. Good morning, Mr. George. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Good morning, Mr. George. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to your guest.
Yes.
Uncle Yori, I want to say congratulations to Professor Chukwuma Soludo for the clean win. You know, we discussed this issue of Anambra a number of times on this program. And I told you the sentiments on the ground favor Soludo a lot. Where he has free education almost at all levels, giving children food to eat at school, and doing so many things that the people themselves are acknowledging. So on the ground, it's well rooted. So I want to congratulate him. The people who want to destroy Nigeria because they want to use Donald Trump to destroy Nigeria because they cannot win elections, they should know that election, governance is by getting popularity of the people, not just using all sort of things to destroy a society that you want to govern. I could see that Peter Obi's candidate came fourth. This time around, fourth. And they are the ones claiming vote buying. The vote buying, on theory, where there is a market, there must be sellers and buyers. It is the people that we should be talking to, not to sell, even if there is a buyer. If a buyer wants to buy something and he doesn't see the product, he will keep his money. So, and on theory, is it Professor Chukwuma Soludo got 423,000 votes? Does it mean that he bought those votes at 20,000 naira each? Is it possible? Does he have that money? And even if he does, how did he do it? Without any leakage. If anybody is saying that votes were bought, let them show evidence. And the INEC chairman is saying, if you have evidence, bring it. We will address it. But all the people who are saying votes were bought, none of them has been courageous enough to come forward with evidence. When something good has happened, let us acknowledge it. There's no perfect election anywhere in the world. There will be one little shortfall or the other. But when it is generally good, anything that you can score 60% good, we should acknowledge it.
All right, then. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. George. Okay. Well, Safia, there you go. That matter came up again, that matter of vote buying. And I think, you know, people have gone around, journalists have gone around, and what they are concluding is that vote buying was rampant. It was, everybody was guilty of it. I think there were 19 parties that took part in this election, and I don't know how many of those, but the impressions we got. Safia, are you still there? Okay. I understand that Safia Bichi, who is Head of Knowledge Management and Learning at IAGA Africa, might be having a difficulty because of the network. Okay. Safia, you're back. Okay, we were trying to speak with you earlier. This matter, that last caller brought up the whole question of vote buying and providing the evidence. But I think it has been established that there was vote buying across the parties. Everybody reportedly tried to, you know, was involved in this. Is that your understanding as well? That who can come out and say that?
Sorry, I didn't get you. It's a bit far.
Okay, I said the matter of vote buying has come up.
Yeah.
There are those who are saying that every contestant actually was either buying or selling votes. Did you get that? Did you get that?
Yes. Just to rephrase your statement, was there vote buying across board, contestants buying votes and selling?
Yes. Okay.
We've seen people from different parties, both the, I don't want to call parties, but the major, the parties with the highest vote share in the elections, not one, not two, not three, involved in the vote buying. We can't say for other parties because 16 parties contested, but these were parties that we saw their representatives buying votes. In some instances, people even using POS to buy their vote. And even the citizens are also encouraging that just before the elections, 2 days before the elections, we're doing some voter sensitization. And you hear young people saying that, a new voter saying that, oh, they're not going to vote except they're going to get some money or some things. And we've also heard people even determining I learned that within the state, the voter inducement materials has even changed from rice to wrapper and money, that people are looking for things that are easily conveyable. So was there vote buying? Yes, we've seen that from all parties. We've seen that from APC, from ABGA, and even other parties. beyond one or two parties, but we cannot say we've seen in all the 16 parties.
Okay.
Most of the people with the highest vote share were involved.
One moment, please. Elder David has called in. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Sir Yori.
Thank you.
God bless Nigeria.
Indeed.
We thank God. Congratulations to Nigeria. Congratulations to Soludo. Congratulations to Soludo. Congratulations to the people in Anambra. Congratulations to the new INEC chairman and our God-ordained president of Nigeria since 2031 by grace of God. In fact, within eight hours, we can get results without any complaint. Who are those complaining? Vote by, please. Let us leave that. Let us people not about attention. I expected all the whole candidates to congratulate this man now because God has spoken and nobody should challenge him. I'm an APC man. I quite agree. APC doesn't ring election. This is not the time of cash and carry. The time of cash and carry has passed. You see the improvements of the voting pattern on how the result comes out within 8 hours. Whereas that of Edo takes some days, though they have improved on it very well. And this is what is going to happen in Osun State. You see what is going to happen there. Congratulations, Soludo. Nigeria greets you. Congratulations to our president. And this is exactly what will happen 2027. The president will get 75% of the vote cast.
Okay, then. Okay, Elder David. Thank you very much for calling in. Anambra has spoken. The results that they produced by speaking with their vote, you know, it has led to Governor Soludo having another term. Okay. The other thing is that, Safia, if I were to come back to you, the voters' apathy, in spite of, you know, educating people, one listens to reports, you know, video reports, audio reports, and people themselves were actually admitting that, I took, or why will I not take? I voted, in fact, I was given this amount, and then I had to vote for this party or that party. And the interviewer was saying, but you know that's wrong. Why did you do that? She says, if I don't take it, another person will take it. So it looks like there's still a lot of work to be done in this whole area of persuading people that, look, there's a new order. Let us all adopt this new order. I don't know if you also heard some of those reports, some of those audio and TV reports, that people admitting that they took, but what do you want me to do? That seemed to be their attitude. Okay, Safia.
I think people, it's about trust.
Carry on, please.
People have lost trust in the institutions, and that's why, and even in our political class, and that's the reason why they feel like it's an opportunity to take my own path.
Yes.
And sometimes the narrative of me, if I don't take it, someone will take it. Is just, but the rationale behind it mostly is that people feel like this is an opportunity. Let me take my share. After all, I'm not going to get anything in the next 8 years. But they also don't understand that it goes deeper, that you as a citizen can make your representative, can make government work if you demand for accountability. But again, if you collect the money, you don't have the moral right at the end of the day. And these people also believe that it was their money that got it for them. It's just like you buying a bread. If you buy with your money, you can decide to eat it or throw it. You can challenge the person to say, oh, that's not your money. I choose to do whatever I want to do. I've purchased it. It's my property. So this is the issue. But again, it's about trust. Citizens have lost trust in our system. And how do we revive this trust? How do we make citizens trust the system again? How do we make citizens believe that their votes can count? How do we make citizens believe that these public institutions and these public officials will work in their interest? How do we do that? It's by ensuring that people are called to are held accountable. I want to see the day that high-profile people will be arrested for vote buying and selling, not the person sharing the money, the person funding the process. until we reach that point, it will continue. And our public institutions need to start doing better. But in terms of voter education, for me, this is my own personal perspective. I think the 21% did pretty well because the pre-election environment was very quiet. Very quiet. I know that Anambra has issues of when it comes to electoral participation. Their election environment used to be quiet, but that was the same thing we saw in the last year was 2020. In the 2024 Ondo elections. Again, is it about the popularity of the candidate? This is another question. Or is it about the institution? But we've seen that it's a mixture of both. Public institutions, citizens lack trust in public institutions. And on the other hand, the candidates are also, and the political parties, citizens lack trust and faith in those political parties and institutions. And people will tell you that whether it's APC, APGA, or PDP, or DA, or whatever, they're all the same. So this is also a time for even the political parties to carry out internal reforms, while we call for electoral reforms. And one of the my personal key recommendation is that ahead of 2027 elections, we need to focus on electoral offenses. This is the only way we can solve and also build. This is one of the major ways to solve and build trust within and among citizens.
Okay, then. Well, I want to thank you very much, Safia Bichi, Head of Knowledge and Management and Learning at IAGA Africa, for giving us your perspectives, having been part of the observation of the Anambra election. Thank you very much for joining us.